to the No Go Live, No Go Formaga Hood of Chat series, our 5th edition. Woo, we kept it going. Every Friday, we've had to change the time from 12 to 6 p.m. just to recognize and help everyone else who is going back to work able to join this regardless. So that's why we moved it to 6 p.m. GMT +1. So of course, the Hood of Chat series is a series of conversations with subject matter experts to discuss the cyber risk that are prevailing in these times, and of course help equip people with the knowledge they require to be able to stay protected and stay cyber safe. That's what we're on about. And this is proudly hosted by No Go Formaga. It's a not-for-profit campaign that is driving awareness about digital safety. We are doing this through, very, 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 very exciting content like this one, and just sharing knowledge across from different classes, social classes. So from you who can access it via a computer to the woman who is in the market who doesn't have a smartphone, we are able to reach them with some relatable and very easy to understand cybersecurity knowledge to keep them safe as they have digital access. So this is just that kind of event. And we have Dr. Joseph Ikhalia, who I'll be bringing on very, very, very soon to discuss this topic of email security. I don't know what it is where you are or what the organization, how it is in your organization, but we definitely know that email security or email generally is a huge thing. And in times of COVID-19, we've seen a spike, and of course, subject matter experts is going to tell us more about this, about how we can stay protected in these times, especially. So while I want to leave issues to him, I'm just going to give you a brief about what this is about. So now, one of such, ways that cyber criminals can have access to was through the use of email for communications. Of course, because stress and fear of the pandemic has increased cyber criminal activities, and they know that they can reach, people and businesses and homes via email. They're doing this in so aggressively. And now this is evidenced by such reports as Google's claim that it was blocking 100 million phishing emails per day, with a fifth being scam emails related to coronavirus. So it's a thing, really, and data is showing for it. So this 5th episode in the series seeks to explore the ways malicious actors are taking advantage of the coronavirus pandemic to launch phishing email attacks. And in this webinar, we will provide clarity on phishing attacks by explaining what phishing is. We're going to show examples of phishing emails targeted as phishing emails example, and non-targeted phishing emails. We're going to also touch on and highlight the principles of persuasion used in phishing emails by showing several emails that employ these methods. We're also going to be exploring, of course, and explaining the technical countermeasures, because the last thing we want is for you to come off this webinar and feel helpless. So you definitely have a way around this, and you have the upper hand with the knowledge you're going to acquire. We're also going to explain technical countermeasures like critical thinking, hovering over links, and of course URL, which is web address deciphering. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'm sure you're going to gain a lot from this. So I'm just going to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Joseph Ikhalia. Joseph spent 18 hours each day securing and looking for vulnerabilities in enterprise grade infrastructure. So he's protecting big organizations at his workplace, and he has a lot of insight to share. So I'm just going to get Joseph on here. I'm not sure that I will be able to speak once Joseph comes on. So let's just have Joseph. Joseph, you have the floor.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I was worried you couldn't hear me. Good evening. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here. Thank you for inviting me to this interesting topic. And I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can go straight to business. I'm aware you guys gave me about 20 minutes, right?
Yes, about 20 minutes for your presentation, so you can have a lot of, no, I think it's 30 minutes. Let me see,
minutes.
let me just review that. Yeah, I think it's about 20 or 25 minutes. I'm just going to review that. Okay, great. So it's 20 minutes, actually correct. 20 minutes, 10 minutes for your presentation and 10 minutes to show and tell. And then we can take a lot of questions from me and from the audience.
Okay, perfect. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Now I'm sharing the full screen. Can you see the presentation slides well?
I can see 2 files and 2 folders.
Okay, let me share only the presentation. 1 second. Okay, can you see the presentation screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So guys, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, and it's been making rounds on in the world, on social media, on research articles, broadcasts about phishing with COVID-19 in context. Now, before now, a lot of people have been using different societal events to take advantage of people's vulnerability in order to harvest their personal information. There are many events, including previous events here in the UK, like Brexit, that cyber criminals will use to harvest people's data, sending them malicious emails. So now we're experiencing a recurrence of events, but now it's about COVID-19 or coronavirus. So this presentation is going to be structured in this format. Please let me know if you hear me. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to structure this presentation in this format. First of all, we're going to talk about the art of phishing. We're going to look at the brief concept about phishing, little definitions here and there. Then we're going to look at the examples of phishing emails in respect to the coronavirus phishing emails. And while we're looking at these examples, we're going to look at the psychological aspects that are being taken advantage of, the theories of persuasions that cyber criminals are using in these phishing emails context. Then we're going to spend a lot of time looking at the technical measures. It's my favorite section of this presentation, on how we can build our skills, our technical skills, to detect phishing emails. And then we're going to look briefly at the non-technical measures. So quickly, what is the art of phishing? Now, scholars have defined it as a fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information or confidential information that you would not otherwise want to share with anybody. And they can use diverse means to obtain this information. In the olden days, people used to create fake websites. They could create a website like the bbc.co.uk, and instead of the BBC, they would type the BBQ or the BBA or something like that. But it's going to look like the feel, the aesthetics of the website will look exactly like the BBC. And then you have to put your details there. Then that's how they get your information. But now criminals have become more advanced. They don't really have much resources to create, websites, host a domain. They could send you a malware. They could send you a Trojan to harvest that data instead and send it anywhere they want. So there are two forms of phishing. We have the generalistic one that they blast to everybody. It's like they're throwing a fishing net, trying to catch a fish. And then the other one is the spear phishing one. So spear phishing one is very targeted, it's the most dangerous one. So in this case, the cyber criminal is going to do a lot of research. In cybersecurity terminology, we call it reconnaissance. They're going to try to get a lot of information about you. A lot of people share their feelings on social media, their interests, their viewpoints, whatever is custom to the user, to the target victim. It's what the cyber criminal is going to use to craft his email intelligently. And then he sends it. He could spoof your friend to send this email. He could spoof the World Health Organization to send you this email. He could spoof the government. It's so easy to pretend to be something else so that you can, there'll be more likelihood of you clicking or falling to these phishing attacks. And then you open the malware. The victim opens the malware without thinking, without reflecting, and then the system becomes a bot. Your whole device becomes a robot. It does everything the cyber attacker wants or the malware was designed to accomplish. And in this case, the virus or the malware could be designed to send emails again. You could send emails on your behalf to other people in your contacts. The virus could be designed to look for any file that is password, that has the name password. It could be designed to take information like banking details as well from your emails. And that is exactly how it works. So let's quickly look at examples, with regards to COVID-19, coronavirus. Now, these are some of the examples I found online. This one is it appears to be from the UK government. And the email reads, as a precaution measure against COVID-19 in cooperation with the National Insurance and National Health Services, the government established a new tax refund program for dealing with coronavirus outbreak in its action plan. And it says you are eligible for a tax refund of £128. So access your funds now. Now, normal people without thinking would, oh man, £128. And this is from an authority. So in this case, the persuasion principle used by the cyber criminal is authority. And also, because it has the government logo, the UK government logo, is something that is quite similar to the average victim. So I'm in the United Kingdom. I trust the government and I like the government. So definitely, I see the government as an authority. So I believe this email. So the natural person is going to click this and then falls victim. Then we have another one here. Is also using the principle of authority and liking and similarity. So it's coming from an authoritative source that appears to be the World Health Organization, and it's generic. It's saying, dear sir, go through the attached documents on safety measures regarding the spread of coronavirus and click on the button to download. So I don't need to click on this button to download safety measures. I could go online to do my search myself. So a lot of people may download this because it appears to be from the World Health Organization and has an impressive logo there. Then the third example we're going to look at is the persuasion of commitment and consistency. So in your organization you work with, there could be a policy regarding COVID-19, and maybe management have already given you information about, information awareness, expect emails regarding things like this. So because you have been pre-informed and you've already made a commitment towards the anti-COVID-19 policy, you are likely to click this email so that you can read the latest updates because it's sent from your organization or sent from the admin of your organization. So these are some of the principles and some of the phishing emails we have. Now let's go to the interesting part, which is the technical countermeasures. Now, a lot of people believe that if they have antivirus on their machine, if they have antivirus on their machine, it doesn't matter what they download on their system. It is a very wrong perception. So antivirus will only catch the easiest malware. It's going to catch the easiest virus. It does not do any deep packet analysis or deep analysis of the malware. It's going to, if an antivirus works like a bodyguard, for example, a bouncer in a nightclub. maybe the instruction to the bouncer is do not take people that are under the age of 18 and check their ID cards, by checking their ID cards. So if they're under the age of 18, through their ID card, don't let them in. So what if I go and craft my ID card? Let's say I'm 16 years old. I craft an ID card that says I'm 18. There is no way for the bodyguard to verify my real age other than my signature, which is my ID card, that is well crafted, that is faked. So that is exactly how antivirus works. So because of that, there are a plethora of tools, a lot of tools, a cascade of tools that you can use to protect yourself. And these tools are free. And these are some of the tools I use in my daily work. And it's easy to use them. So let's say I receive an email. Now this email is using the persuasion factor of social interaction. So because this person is my friend on Facebook, somebody sent me this email. Now, before I go forward, I want to clarify there is a difference between spam and phishing. So spamming is not necessarily harmful. It could be an unwanted email, an unsolicited email for marketing a certain product or selling a certain product just for profit or just raising awareness about something. But phishing is very, very malicious. It has malicious intentions. So it could, for example, we're going to see how this email sent by my friend, but it's not really my friend. The malicious actor was able to check my friends on social media and use their names to send me fake emails, phishing emails. Now it says I should click this link. That's what it implies. There's a link here for me to click. So how do I know using VirusTotal that this is a malicious link? So what I do is right click. I don't click on it, copy the link address. Then I go to VirusTotal. 1 second. Okay. Then I go to VirusTotal. I go to URL and paste the link there. Click enter, then I search. So what do I find? I found that out of we have over 45 antivirus engines in VirusTotal. VirusTotal is free, extremely free. There's no cost involved. And out of these 45 antivirus, only 2 antivirus told me some very vital information about it. The first one is from Komodo. It tells me that this is a phishing link. And the second one tells me, which is spam horse, yeah, tells me that this is a spam. So with this already, I know that it's something dodgy. Let's look for another email as well. So this one is from an organization called afrique.org. It's a phishing email, but we're going to find out. So what I do is copy the link. It says, choose your package. Somebody is pretending to be this legitimate organization. And then the choose your package link is totally different. It's called transplantationhair.com. It's funny. And then you copy it and you check on VirusTotal. Okay. VirusTotal told me everything is fine. It looks fine. So the reason why we have multiple technical countermeasures is because we can't just rely on one source of truth when we're investigating phishing emails or phishing links in emails. So the next thing I want to do, I want to investigate the sender's IP. Now, every email comes with IP addresses. For example, this email, let's go back to the other one that comes from, this organization. So this email has an IP address. How do I find the IP address, the sender's IP? I go to my button here that says more, then I click original, show original email. Okay, then I do Control F and search for the word IP. Okay, so I'm going to see every link, every keyword, every tag of IP. So this is the first thing I want to look at. By the way, I have about 200 emails, so this is just one of them. Okay, so this is the first thing I'm going to look at. This is the server, the email server that sent me the email. So I want to look at more information about this server. So what I do is go to my centralops.net. CentralOps is a free domain checker. You could check domain networks, service provider, ISPs associated with any IP address, and it's completely free. So I'm going to do a lot of search now on this IP to see exactly who is this, what's the service, who is the ISP of this email server. I see this is in Germany. Okay, so the ISP of this person is in Germany. I go back to the email again. I want to find out the email of the person. So the person's broadband, this is the person's broadband here. So there are two emails. First of all, the email server, and then this person's broadband, the home router, or whatever personal device IP of the person. The person could be using a VPN. So this could also be the VPN. And then search exactly where the person is, find the person's location. So with all this investigation, I'm going to be using this to build a good judgment. The reason why we're doing all this is to build intelligent decisions on exactly whether we should click these emails or not, on why we should click or why we shouldn't click it. I think I missed this one. No, this is another one. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, paste, then search. Okay, there's not much information I could find about this this IP. Maybe it's okay, it's loading already. Okay, that's fantastic. So now I know this person is in India. Wow. So why is a freak sending me an email from India? And I know the organization is not in India. Okay, so now, yeah, so now I could make a smart decision. Okay, this is another one. So you see, you get the idea. This is how you investigate using some technical tools. You could also check the reputation of the IP. So you want to check the reputation of the server IP. So if we go back again, some IPs have been blacklisted and are known for, this is another malicious one, and are known for sending spam. So I could use this tool called Siren.com. Yeah, Siren.com, where are you? Then search for the IP reputation. Check this IP address. So it says the risk level of this IP is medium, but this IP address is frequently used for sending spam. So I'm not going to take this person serious. I'm already making a sound decision. The final step is to use a sandbox to load this attachment. Now, what is a sandbox? A sandbox is a container. It's a special container that you can use to execute files that can sit in your computer, isolated from memory, isolated from your system memory. So it uses a very small piece of your system that is isolated from wherever you've installed Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, every normal program running in your system. So it doesn't interfere with your program. So what I want to do now is use Sandbox C to simulate the process of downloading, an email attachment, for example. So what I do is bring my Sandbox C application. I've installed Sandbox C on my system, by the way. Run the web browser. Can you guys see it now? Are you seeing it? So it has this yellow, hello?
Yes, we can see your web browser.
Can you see this yellow box here?
Yes.
Perfect. So I received an email recently in one of my 200 emails. And later I'll tell you why. You could ask me why I have 200 emails.
Okay, I'll ask. I'll make it to do that.
It says life-changing book. Wow. So this book is going to change my life. Dear Dr. Ikhalia, this book will change your life. So download it before it's too late. So good. I can download because let's say I've done a lot of investigation and I've not really seen much that will raise suspicion. So let me download it safely. So I could download it in Sandbox C. Now, this is new volume is going to my Sandbox, save. Good, so now I can read this attachment on my Sandbox. Now, what do I really want to do? I want to see the process that is running this Sandbox. Okay, that's the most important thing, to check the process, because everything you download online has a service or a process. So Microsoft's application has a process. PDF, which is Adobe's application has a process. I want to see if this process is legit. So what I would do is go to the location of my Sandbox. I'm going to bring the location quickly so you can see how we check. If you have questions,
sorry, guys, I'm just going to, sorry, Joseph, I just wanted to add the question to add. Please feel free to use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and just the questions and answer them very well. He's showing you something that I think we're also going to be talking about. He has an amazing book he's launching very soon. So just stay here, stay on this webinar, do not leave us, and get a lot of the amazing knowledge that is given for free that you should actually pay a lot of money for. So thank you once again, Joseph. Go ahead.
No problem. So I want to see my process. 1 second. Oh, I'm going to do it again. 1 second. I'm going to create a unique folder for this. Forgot to do that. Say good files. So I'm going to download it again. Okay, good. So this is the good files folder where I downloaded the attachments. So I'm going to run Sandbox. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. Now I have the process. Can you see this, guys? This is interesting. So instead of using my Windows process, some of us are aware about the command line process. Now I have a container where this file or this program is running, and we could see the name of the process here. It says acro-rod32.exe. So this is the process that is supporting this application here. Now, what do I need to do with this? I need to type this in Google to check if this process is legit. Okay, get more information about this process. It's acro-rod32. Okay, acro-rod32. So what is this? Thank God for Google University. It says this is an executable file required to run Adobe Acrobat Reader in a computer. It is an important component needed to view documents. Okay, so this is cool. This is not really bad. So I could read more about this process. It's a legitimate process. So it's not a malware. Sometimes hackers could try to use the same name to run a malicious process, but somehow, like I said, that's the low-hanging fruit. It's the easiest catch for antivirus. Antivirus could correlate the name of the process to we call it the daemon of the process, daemon. You could check that out, so it could correlate the real core, the core application code with the name, and then just flag it. That's easy, so because of that, they normally create their own malicious process, and they don't bother changing the name. So that's that. So we could use Sandboxy to do that as well. Then finally, let's look at the non-technical countermeasures. So if you get a malicious email, let's go back to one of those malicious emails that says the government is giving £128. That's a lot of money in the UK. It can feed you for a week. So the government is giving £128. So all I need to do is just type Google. It's UK government COVID-19 £128. And I put scam at the front. I always do that. Scam. Okay, this is scam and it's not from the government, you see? You see? So there are many links that will tell you about if it's a scam or not. So you do a Google search, then you call the sender. So if you're in an organization and you get an email from your colleague or the admin staff, it's easy. Just put a call through. Like, hello, I got an email. Is this from you? Don't fall for the persuasion principle of liking and similarity or your previous commitment to follow the company's policy and then click on it blindly. No. I always get this kind of requests from members of my organization because I'm the threat management lead. Before they click link, especially towards the end of the month when it's time for payroll and invoicing and all that, they normally get a lot of phishing emails. So they call me first, like, should we click this? Look, do your investigation first. So always put the call through. That's easy countermeasure. Call your friend, like this, my so-called friend here, or this email from apparently from my friend, this so-called email from my friend. I will call him. I'll say, go to I'll send him a text. Did you really send me something? What's this about? If it appears more legitimate than this, because this one is really a lazy man's scamming job. So that's another non-countermeasure. Then also beware of online requests for personal information, especially when you're not preparing to receive it. You're not ready for it. You did not plan to receive any information. Be careful. Most of these hackers, they always come from, countries or organizations that have very low reputation, and also they have English issues, so they don't really take time to compose their emails very well. So there'll be a lot of grammatical errors you can look out for. And look for generic greetings as well. A real legitimate message, it's probably going to address you by your name and not dear sir or dear sir / madam. Avoid emails that insist you act now, especially Friday evenings. You know, I never click my email, no matter what, on Friday, like 15 minutes to 5 or 15 minutes to 5:30 at the close of work. You know, don't take all those hasty decisions, especially when it's close of work or close of the day. You know, you can treat it on Monday. That reminds me, one incident happened recently. I think I locked myself out from my organization, and then around 11 p.m. I wanted to work. So I called my engineer. I sent him a text, a WhatsApp text. Can you please reset my password? 11 p.m. And the guy said, he replied me, he said, let's do it tomorrow, man. You know, you know, like why?
I know
why
you're going to say to prove that you are you.
Yeah, he said, tomorrow, man. Like, who does that? So I really wanted to work, so I had to wait till the next day. So it's a good culture. Okay, so I think we're done here. I hope we did good for time. Thank you very much.
I didn't hear what you said last.
I hope we did good for time. We kept to time?
Yeah, we did good for time. We did for time. And okay. Some people cannot wait to ask that question. But please, guys, just give me a minute or two to ask mine really quickly.
Okay.
And we can take all your very wonderful questions. I've gotten 3 questions, which I'll be taking one after the other in the order in which it came. So really quickly, how can a user practice good security when on a mobile device and can't hover over links? So you see how you receive those emails, and you can put your mouse over to sort of see if this is a phishing link or not before you start your investigation. So how can people do that on mobile?
Oh, that's a very good question. It's a good question. So I believe you could. There's a way you can copy your links on mobile devices. Haven't you copied links before? Let me see. Yeah, you could copy your link. Just you don't need to hover over it. Just
press and hold down.
Yeah, press it and hold it down, then copy the URL. It's that simple. And then you could use virus tool to scan.
Okay, great.
Link. Yeah.
The next question I have is, how can oversharing information make you more susceptible to phishing? And how can a user improve their proficiency at spotting phishing mails? I think you sort of touched on number 3, this number 3 question I just asked. So number 2, you can go ahead and answer number 2.
Number 2, come again with number 2, please repeat.
How can oversharing information make you more susceptible to phishing?
Yes, like I'm going to go back to why I have 200 emails. So it's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult to phish somebody like me because I've created multiple identities, right, online. There are times my name is Nick Rollins. There are times my name is Marek Johnson. Maybe I want to register for a free package online or something like that. So if you phish that email that is non-attributed to me, my real identity, my legal name, you're wasting your time as a hacker. So I don't really believe there is privacy. I believe you can share as much as you want to share, but be careful on how you attribute things to your real personal information. I will never use my organization's email, for example, to register on Facebook, to register on Amazon. Okay? I'm not going to use my real name to register for a random software I'm going to test, you know. So yeah, so you could use pseudonyms, you could use anonymity, the principle of anonymity, to hide your real legal information. So when they are phishing you based on your sharing, your registration on different websites and all that, it's not going to come directly to you, right? It goes into another different email that's not important. That's not where your online banking information goes to. That's not where your payslip goes to. Yeah.
Exactly. That's excellent. My last question is, what should a user do if he or she clicks a phishing link?
Ooh. First thing you do is switch off your system, disconnect. You see how the world is doing social distancing, right? We're disconnecting from the world. Yes. So pull the plugs from the network. Yes. Turn off your router. Go to your phone and disconnect your Wi-Fi. Make sure you're not connected, so that in case it's a Trojan, a malware that is designed to send data back, communicate back to the malicious person, it's not going to be able to receive it. Do you understand? So it can't receive that information.
Yeah.
So then I could use another device to connect to the internet, right? While that device is switched off. I know most people these days we have about 2 computing devices. Maybe one person has a laptop, you have a phone, whatever. So use the second device to connect to the internet. So this is the device that is not, you did not click any link on. There is no malicious process running on this device. So connect to the internet and change your password in the apparently compromised device. So change your password, change your credentials, and do all that. So when you change it, then you can now switch back on and delete all this information. So it's another scope entirely on doing digital forensics on your device. That can be another topic. Yeah, but the first thing is disconnect.
Oh, that's excellent. So let's go into the questions from the attendees. There are very interesting questions here. Praise Sunday is asking, how are we going to get the slide? Please, are we going to get the slides afterwards? So that's up to you.
No
Dr. Ikhalia, would you let us have your slides?
No problem.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another question here from someone else who is anonymous. He says here, how can we send encrypted emails over the web?
Fantastic. It depends on the kind of encryption you're talking about. So currently, Google tells me that this is encrypted, right? This is what we call encryption in motion, when the data is moving from one place to the other. There's a TLS, transport layer security certificate by Google, right? If I look at it, the certificate is valid, it's issued by Google. So that's fine. But the second, maybe what I'm guessing now is he's talking about encryption at rest, right? So when
I think it's actually in transit.
Yeah, so it's already encrypted in transit because there's a certificate already. Yeah, by the email server. So if you're having an email server, make sure you purchase a TLS certificate from an authorized certificate authority, authorized by means of Komodo, for example, Komodo, GoDaddy. These are well-recognized certificate authority. But if you're talking about encryption at rest, so you have your email sitting down on your computer. So or you want to send an email to somebody, that even when a hacker gets the email, so somebody hacks into the person's email, the email has traveled successfully, and you don't want the hacker to be able to get that email. There are different tools you can use to encrypt your emails. One of them is email. Let me check. There's one I use. So even if you hack me, you will need a decryption key, email encryption tools. So there's this Barracuda, email encryption is one of them. Some of them are free, but please do your due diligence on any provider you're going to use to encrypt your emails at rest. Okay, do a due diligence first. So hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that does. We have another interesting question by Kayode Timi. He's asking, can Sandboxy be installed on mobile phones for mobile users to be able to investigate emails?
Let me check, because I've not had the cost to do it. Sandboxy is a very good. I used to use them about 4 years ago when I discovered them. Then later, recently, they were bought over by Sophos. Let's go to Sandboxy. Sophos acquired them. If I go to home or download, I don't think they have, let's see, buy. I don't think they have a mobile version, but let me quickly check. Sandboxy. So this is the one I know. There could be other sandbox tools you could use. I don't know. They don't have a mobile version, just for your desktop. Yeah.
And this is why you should be very cautious when you're interacting with your email via your mobile phone.
Yeah, I don't really think you should do serious email processing on your mobile phone. I don't recommend that, except you want to, check blogs, email your friend. If you want to really settle down and download files, deal with company information, avoid using your phones. Because most times your phone is going to tell the hacker the kind of device you're using, even the version. Some will tell the version of your operating of your phone. You're giving out too much, to the hacker. So I don't advise using your phones to execute PDFs and download stuff. Use that for less risky. Yeah.
Okay. Kamal is asking, please, what can you say about SPF, the mark security features of email, and can we rely on Microsoft controls without email gateway to get to podcast?
To be honest, those things are overrated. A lot of companies, especially DMARC, SPF definitely is good. Like for example, let's look at one malicious email quickly, and I will tell you that this email has SPF, DKIM, and DMARC record. So that will not tell you anything.
You still receive it.
So SPF pass, right? DKIM pass, DMARC pass. So this guy has everything, right? It's to the average user. It's legitimate. He has all his records in his MX. His MX records are fantastic.
Records.
Yeah, but it doesn't really. It doesn't tell you anything. I could create a legitimate server. I could, deploy Exchange, right? And put my TLS certificates, everything legit. I think there's a top hacker in the world, Kevin Mitnick. If he wants to hack, he goes as far as purchasing extended validation certificates for a software. So he will build a fake software. He will register a company, because before you get an extended validation certificate, you need to have a company information like certificate of incorporation and all that. He does all that, right? So, and then he will send you the software. And because it has all these validation certificates, it has gone through the third-party checks, you think it's legitimate. So it's not enough. All these beautiful standards to ensure that it's authoritative and all that, it's not enough. These records are not enough. You still need to build your technical skills, just like we see here. So
very, very interesting.
Yeah.
There's another person who was asked a question about the social media handles and your email address so you can advance conversations. Do you want to share with us your social media handles and your email address?
Yes, I will. Why not? I have a website. My website is getting a lot of attention these days. And I have a social media, I have Facebook. I'm going to share them with you. In April, I got about 2,000 malicious attempts on my website since I started making noise.
I know.
Yeah. I have Instagram. I make noise on Instagram a lot. I have LinkedIn. I'm everywhere except TikTok. Yeah. I'm not on TikTok.
We're having this conversation yesterday.
I'm on Medium. My Medium has been quiet for a while. The last time I posted on Medium was November last year. Yeah, so I have some good articles on Medium. I like posting about technical stuff, I post less about business strategy, security awareness stuff. I did a lot of that in my PhD research. So I want to be more technical as I go along. So yeah, so that's why I post a lot of technical stuff. And I have a YouTube as well. I post a lot of my adventures in cyber security. Every event I go to, I get a camera around to follow me about and posting it. I post myself doing some hacking demos, you know. Yeah, so I'll share with you my social media handles, no problem.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, our last question, of course, is a yes. Kindly, can I get the whole lesson as a video? Yes, for sure. You're going to be getting this as you've registered. We're going to be sharing the link to view these videos we play after this session. So
Fantastic.
if there are no more questions, thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Ikhalia. We'll also be making this available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So look out for that, but you're going to get the link in your inbox. And if you're not trusting of clicking on that link like we've learned, you can go on YouTube and just search Go for Maga.
Or you could use the technical countermeasures.
Yes. Or you use the technical countermeasures. Amazing stuff. I like how you broke this down, slowly and steadily sharing with us your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much. Dr. Ikhalia, can you talk about your book?
Okay, so I'm supposed to release my book on my birthday. So in 2 days' time, I'll be celebrating my birthday. But there's going to be some delays. Yeah. So it's called 42 Rules for Email Security. So it's quite different because I'm making some rules based on my 8 years of experience. And then I'm having case study on each rule. So this is a real life case study of an email breach or email attack. And this rule, if applied, can circumvent this attack, can make the user avoid this attack. So there's a rule, there's a case study, matching case study on every rule, that where the rule applies. So it's very practical. So you see a rule, and then you see a case study that match it. Yeah, so it's going to help people become more aware. I think a lot of people are going to be going into the technical side of this as we go along. Yeah. So hopefully the book will be out. I'm looking at 2 weeks' time. Yeah, 2 weeks' time. It's going to be on social media. And it's going to be excellent. It's going to be very cheap.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to take one last question because I actually thought we'd finished the questions, but I've just seen Kemi's question. She's been waiting to ask. So I'm just going to really take it. I'm really sorry, guys. We'll be leaving here very soon. I really want it to be 1 hour for 1 hour. There are cases where after searching the email header, you need to investigate the last IP. What's your take on this? That's our question.
Okay, let's go back again. So this is the original email
she's followed that up saying, she's followed that up with investigating malware. There are cases where malicious code is bound to a legit app or process. How can Sandbox help?
Yes, so I recently had that experience where I got a legitimate email, right? You hover over the link, it tells you it is Dropbox, right? Dropbox, everybody knows Dropbox. Then you go to Dropbox. Then the link in Dropbox is taking you somewhere else. So I've had that experience. So you need to be very careful. So there are 2 layers to it. It could be very sophisticated that they take you to Dropbox, they take you to G Drive, they take you somewhere very legitimate, very nice. And then when you hover over the link there, it is telling you another address, which is not Dropbox. So you need to look at the 2 layers. Always examine. Don't say that for the fact that I've gone to Dropbox or G Drive or OneDrive for Microsoft, then it's legit. No, don't say that. Then check the link there again. You understand? So cyber criminals are very, very smart. And that's the biggest challenge. they are somehow smarter than the people protecting the systems, you know. So we look at things from different layers. They are going to cover layers, malwares in layers. So they're not going to take you directly to a malicious site. They'll take you to a legit site where you download the link to a malicious site. Okay, so just have that in mind when you are doing your investigation.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ikhalia. Thank you so much for your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for everyone who has come. I'm sure a lot of people are saying thank you because your presentation was wonderful. We've seen a couple of them in the chat box and saying thank you for your wonderful presentation and being so timely.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Alrighty, so I'm hoping we can have you sometime soon again.
Yeah.
Without getting an invoice.
Yeah, let's talk about malware next time. Let's talk about malware.
Yes.
You know, behavior of malware. I love analyzing.
We definitely need to.
Maybe ransomware. We'll see a live demo of ransomware. Yeah. Things like that.
Oh, we should definitely jump on that. I will be contacting you again.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for coming for this webinar. I want you to just go on social media, go on LinkedIn, and just tag us when you're making your comments, or go to our page on LinkedIn.
I would love to see the tags, please. Yeah.
Yes, please really tag us and really share how this was impactful for you, knowledge you gained. You know, that's your way of telling us thank you. Please just go online and just speak about this and tag us so we can see and maybe we share what you're saying about this, and so more people can know that these sessions hold and they're very impactful. So thank you very much, guys. And also follow us on social media. No Go for Maga on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We share a lot of ongoing tips around cybersecurity and how you can stay safe, especially in this time. Thank you very much, everyone. And please follow Dr. Ikhalia. He's sharing quite a lot every day. Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph, for coming. Hi, everyone.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.